if you meet a person that's done 10 years of karate or taekwondo or judo or jiu-jitsu, what different characters do they create? Do different arts create different types of men and leaders based on what the values and principles are, or are all of them pretty much similar values and principles?
It's good that you said yes. So with a good traditional background, most of the time, like a taekwondo or a karate background, those guys, they listen to instructions. They're more, I don't know, more in control, I would say. But then you need a good school as well, because you got a lot of schools. Like, for instance, my daughters, they went to a school, I won't say the name, and I never saw them practice. And suddenly they had to go up for the yellow belt test. And they go and they're walking the katas like this. They have no clue what they're doing. And they receive the yellow belt. And the guy comes to me and he says, "Hey, congratulations." I said, "For what?" He says, "For the belt." I said, "They didn't get it. Why would you give it to them? It makes no sense. They did not know what to do." He says, "Oh, we'll work on it more." I said, "No, I'm out." I said, "This is a money-making machine for you guys. You're just making money with a belt system. You pay $75. You don't want to do that." Now, if you go to a school, like, for instance, a Kyokushin school, that's a different thing. Those guys, when you have a belt, you have the belt. So it's all about what school you're going to. Most of the time, Kyokushin is a really good one. And there's really good karate schools as well, regular karate. It's just about who's instructing.
Okay, so stay there. So the play. So one of it is the actual art you're learning. Mm-hmm. Okay, what I'm trying to find out is, you can go to learn an art, and you may never make it to the NBA. Kids' coach will say, like one of the coaches for the baseball team says, "You see all these parents out here? They all think their son's going to be the next A-Rod. Mm-hmm. What they don't realize is their son's not going to be the next A-Rod. Let them enjoy the game. Let them have fun with baseball." And he's talking about this. Very few of these guys will end up being the next Alex Rodriguez or whatever.
0.2%.
0.2%, right? To make it to that level, yeah. Right? Okay. But what I like about him as a coach, he's tough. He's disciplined. He challenges them. We practiced it. He's really with them, and he loves on them. He's got the balance of both, yep. Which I like. So I put these guys in a jiu-jitsu, and I see at the end of the day, hey, what's the word of the day? Discipline. So yes, they're learning how to protect themselves, but they're also learning certain set of values and principles. You just said right now, taekwondo, karate is a lot of coachability. These are students that develop coachability,
you have
right?
to do the katas. You have to memorize.
Yeah, but I what I want to know is, you meet a judo person. How different is a judo person 10 years versus a karate? And I'm talking that they all had good teachers. Mm-hmm. So we're not talking about we'll talk about that here in a minute as well, because that's a paranoia I have as a parent, where like, these guys are just making money. It's bullshit what they're doing here. But you meet a judo person, you meet a karate person, you meet a jiu-jitsu person, and we go out with 10 judo people, we go out with 10 karate people, we go out with 10 jiu-jitsu people, we go out with 10 whatever, pick
wrestlers,
all of them.
Boxers.
How different is their character? Is one all about discipline? Is one about, spiritual? Is one what's the different DNA between these different arts?
I would say like the jiu-jitsu and judo will be more spiritual. If you go to Eddie Bravo's classes, they light up a joint before they start. Right, everybody.
They light up a joint.
Yeah,
before
so everybody flows better. There's one big bong in the middle. Everybody thinks they hit.
Literally.
Yeah.
Pat, I could see you enrolling in a class like that, right?
It's probably good for me, but I wouldn't.
But so those are more the spiritual guys and the combinations. But you have them everywhere. That's what I'm trying to say. The more spiritual guys, sorry, I would say in judo, jiu-jitsu, sambo, all those kind of sports. And then karate, once you start hitting people, I think you have the more energy guys, the more the ADD, ADHD. So those kind of guys, you have them there. And they're harder to coach because
so this is who? This is karate, or this is the energy guys?
Just punching and kicking would be the energy guys.
Got it.
Because they pick that for a reason, right? You pick jiu-jitsu, you pick for a reason. Now you pick it because it's a very good self-defense. We didn't know that all the way back before the UFC and before Horace Gracie started. You just picked it because you don't like to get hit. Right? And you like this sport a lot. That's most of the time it. But then you start boxing, and boxing you like to hit people. And those people are just differently wired. They don't care about getting hit themselves. So that's why in the beginning, when you had these jiu-jitsu guys coming into MMA, they needed to get used to getting hit while they're going for the submissions. Because if they go for a submission but they get hit in the face, well, that stops, of course, the submission attempt.
So is there, very interesting what you just said. So two questions. One, what complements what? Like, it's good to take, this with this.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what to take. Or it's good to start with this, then to go to this. And then I'll ask the next question for you. Are there arts that complement each other?
Very much. It's either you're a really good striker and you do wrestling, or you're a really good submission guy, you have wrestling. Because if you have great wrestling, you decide where the fight is going to go. So it's like Chuck Liddell, really good takedown defense. And he was just knocking people out left and right. Worked really good for him. You have Damian Maia, who's really good on the ground. Good takedowns, takes people down and submits them. Still, till this day, he will do that. You see, so it's all a combination. Wrestling should always be in the middle. Something that I actually sucked at as a fighter. I just became really good on the ground. It's like when you read I had like 42 submissions because it was a different thing. But I never took anybody down. So that means that they took me down, I reversed them, I would go for a submission.
Wow.
You see, so...
Very interesting.
Yeah, that's a complete...
So even though you were not good at it, the moment they took you down, you had 42 submissions?
Yeah, in total, I had 42 submissions.
So you were good at it, but how come you didn't do it if you were good at it?
Oh, no, I did it for the wrestling.
Why didn't you take them down if you were good at it?
Because I like to knock people out as well.
Okay, so your edge was your edge.
That was my weapon.
I got you.
Yeah, just knock it out.
So I guess my second question for this will be, you talk about your daughters, right? Where they're going and where you put them in, like, hey, what are you doing? No, congrats. This is the last time you'll see me here. You're just running a business. I get that feeling sometimes where it's like you're paying about money. It's just a business model that they're creating. How do you know the energy of, like, my oldest son, he's more, his energy is a different kind of an energy. My younger son, he's just like, wah, 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 he's like, brrr, just like, he's like, you're moving constantly right now. He's always like that. He's always moving, right? And, so to him, he needs to let that energy out. Do you match an art with the kid's energy or no? Don't worry about it. Just put him in there. It's going to be all right.
Well, maybe you should do the opposite, right? Normally the guy who's toned down, he will choose jiu-jitsu, but I will put him in boxing then, because then he takes a little bit from the boxing. You see, then you change a little bit, because it is good what he has, but it still needs to change. You need to be angry. You need to be explosive at certain moments. Calmness is everything, but there needs to be also a fuse that you can set off right away, and so you start firing.
So the angry guy, put him in jiu-jitsu. And the other guy, put him in boxing.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So, Jennifer, if you're listening, Tico's going to start taking boxing.
But if they would choose themselves, then the low-level guy will take jiu-jitsu, and then the high-level one will strike.
Naturally, they're going to want to. So you mix them up.
I will mix them up.
So with all the craziness taking place, I believe future looks bright. If you believe future looks bright, get your latest Future Looks Bright hat of Valuetainment. It says Future Looks Bright here, Future Looks Bright here. We got them in white, we got them in black, we got them in red. Our black on black sold out. These are about to sell out. If you haven't ordered one yet, we had a person in Michigan, bought one, then he bought 3. Then when those 3 people weren't in the office, they had to order 58 of them because people wanted the Future Looks Bright hat, especially during times like this, because ain't nobody saying Future Looks Bright. To order your Future Looks Bright hat, click over here. And to watch the entire podcast, click here. Take care, everybody.